Science shows that there is a hidden motivation switch located deep in our brain that unlocks that powerful level of motivation, one that practically forces our brain to crave doing the hard work we keep putting off. Csikszentmihalyi conducted a study in 1970s to find how we can turn on this motivation switch anytime we want, and in 5 minutes we are going to learn a strategy based on this research and findings. Now picture this, you set the alarm early at night, you are determined to start the day right, but when you hear the alarm you immediately press the snooze button not once but twice. The motivation you felt last night have already gone, and again you are going to spend a day unproductively, endless meaningless stimulations. You are not abnormal for doing this. The problem is not that you are lazy, but you lack a specific type of motivation. The autotelic personality trait is characterized as the increased ability to experience flow. According to the father of flow psychology, flow is this altered state of consciousness where every action, every decision we make seems to flow effortlessly, perfectly, seamlessly from the last. A state of effortless effort. Don't worry guys, at the end of this video, I will show you guys step by step how I experience flow state instantly, and copying this, you can enter flow state doing any task in your life. But first, we must learn about the golden principle of flow. Latest scientific study shows that in this state, we can learn 240 to 500% faster than normal, and our creativity can spike up to 400 to 700% when we are in flow. And we can unlock this on our command by going through these 5 things, and at the end, we will learn the golden principle of flow, which was the secret of this research, using which we can adjust and determine how we can enter the flow state while doing any task in our life. To enter flow state, we must make an initial investment, as the godfather of flow says, and that investment is our attention. As he said, if we want to enjoy the ecstasy of flow, first we must transfer our scattered focus to single pointed focus. I personally attain this by doing these 3 things. First, I make sure that there won't be any distractions till I finish my task. Then I slowly focus my attention on my breath, and then slightly spread that attention to the task I am doing slowly till my complete attention is on the task I am doing. Research shows that the processing capacity of our mind is 120 bits per second. To get the context, now you are listening to me, so it occupies approximately 60 bits per second. So when our attention slowly drifts completely to the task we are doing, there is no attention left over to focus on how our body is feeling or our problems in life. We even forget our hunger or tiredness. Our body and identity completely disappears from our consciousness. This time, we shouldn't try to push our ego or critique or edit our task. It should happen effortlessly, automatically, with full freedom. You can either allow this until you finish your task or set a time period and give yourself permission to work till you complete it. After that, you can edit and review your work. In flow, there is no room for self-scrutiny. Individuals who are intrinsically motivated are driven by internal factors such as personal satisfaction or a desire to learn and grow or pleasure, while extrinsic motivation refers to engaging in an activity in order to avoid punishment or gain external rewards. Flow state works based off of intrinsic and not extrinsic motivation. Also, clear, well-defined goals give us a sense of purpose and direction, and thus help us to enter the flow state. As Csikszentmihalyi said, the climber inching up a vertical wall of rock has a very simple goal in mind: to complete the climb without falling. Every second, hour after hour, he receives information that he is meeting that basic goal. Thus, to determine if your actions at work are moving you closer to your objective, you must give yourself feedback throughout the task. We can do this by dividing our main task into micro tasks as a small checklist or to-do list. This not only helps us to clarify our goals, but also determine whether our actions are aligned with our goals. This feedback system will help us to find the flow sweet spot. This is the golden principle of flow. If we are playing chess, we should play chess against a player who are rated just 4% higher than us. If you play with a weaker player, you will win too easily and be bored because our skill level is higher than the level of challenge. On the other hand, if you compete with a grandmaster, then you will feel anxiety and get crushed because our skill level is lower than the challenge demands. But if you compete against the people who are just slightly better than you, almost like 4% higher than you, you know you can win if you dig deep, dedicate your attention to the task at hand and experience flow. Like this, at just the difficulty of our work task to be slightly higher than what we can do comfortably, and we can find the flow. Our task shouldn't be too hard for us to complete, but at the same time, it should be challenging in order for us to experience flow. Now, here is a 4-step strategy I use to experience flow state instantly while I am doing my writing. To apply this strategy, we must have the knowledge about the 4 stages of flow. In this stage, we are overloading the brain with information. For a student, it is the learning stage where we have to gather all the relevant knowledge. For a creative writer, to read all the relevant stuffs related to that topic. It is the stage I do the hustle to stuff all this knowledge about the topic I am going to write in my conscious mind.
In our previous videos, we have talked about the active imagination techniques used by Tesla and other great minds, and also in the great books like Psycho-Cybernetics. What they basically did was, after fetching the necessary informations in the conscious mind, they completely stop thinking about the task and let the unconscious solve it for you. We can basically take our mind off the problem. We can go for long walks, gardening works very well, workout, and my favorite thing is going for a cycling or a long run. Albert Einstein used to row a boat into the middle of Lake Geneva and he just stared at the clouds. But don't scroll in the social media or watch television. It actually reverses the flow in this stage. Then slowly in this release stage, neurobiologically, there is a global release of nitric oxide, which is a gas signaling molecule found everywhere in the body, which flushes all the stress hormones out of our system and replaces them with all these feel-good performance enhancing neurochemicals such as dopamine, serotonin and endorphins, which push us into this beautiful experience that we have been waiting. It is the optimal state of consciousness. Philosophers like Goethe and Nietzsche call this as Rausch. You will be just focusing on the task. Everything else just seems to disappear. Time is gonna dilate. 5 hours go by like 5 minutes and our intuition is gonna heighten, and it helps us to unlock our peak performance that we could never even imagine in our dreams.
In 5 minutes, you have learned everything to enter flow state on command. Now to use this knowledge for achieving mastery and will to power, we have to cultivate a special mindset which we will be learning in this video.